What is a scenario that you've had where someone came to you where they were grossly underpricing, they weren't confident about having this conversation with prospects, and how did that person transform, and and what's that transformation process look like?
Sure. The most common scenario are women that have come out of a corporate career. Maybe
Mhm.
they've spent 20 years in a large corporation, and the hourly billing model is so ingrained in everything they do.
Mhm.
So that is a super common situation. So we'll use the name Sherry, even though that's not her real name.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. So Sherry had been with several different large accounting firms. She came to me wondering about her pricing, but feeling as though if she continued to price hourly, she would be compensated for all her time. So
Mhm.
that made her feel safe. And no matter what her hourly rate is, my objection is the same, which is you are pricing in a transactional way by the
Mhm.
hour, but the service you're providing, the solutions are transformational.
Mhm.
And you're not doing tax returns. In this case, Sherry is an outsourced chief financial officer.
Mhm.
So she's going into companies and helping them with their financial strategies, and highly educated, high achieving. So the value that she's bringing is really pretty remarkable. And yet she's still pricing hourly. So it is perceived as transactional.
Mhm.
So her buyer is likely to think, oh, I can go and find someone else just like Sherry, and they're going to be less expensive. And then they
Mhm.
start shopping on price. And you do not want buyers who shop on price, because if you're pricing appropriately, you will not be the low cost leader. You're
Mhm.
not going to be
Mhm.
the Walmart of your industry, right? And I don't think anybody aspires to be.
No,
You don't
exactly.
want, right? You don't want 5,000 clients
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
where they're paying a small amount of money. You are better off with fewer clients who are paying you more money.
Mhm.
And there's only one of you as a business owner.
Mhm.
So you have to decide what your business model is. So let's go back to Sherry. So the first thing we had to work on was shifting her thinking from I'm safe with the hourly model to I'm really cheating myself with the hourly model because
Mhm.
my buyers don't get it. They don't
Mhm.
understand. And so what was happening is it was cascade effect, because she would have the wrong people coming to her. She would think they were great buyers. She would go ahead and take on their projects. They would work together over a short period of time, and then they would leave.
Mhm.
And so she had a lot of turnover in her clients, regardless of what she was charging, right? They didn't leave because they couldn't afford it.
Hmm.
They left because they didn't recognize the value that she was providing. And part of
Mhm.
that was because she hadn't positioned it correctly.
Hmm.
So you can see there's a cascade effect when you have staff turnover. Sometimes you have client turnover. If you can't hire people and get them to stay, there are other issues going on. If you
Mhm.
can't
Mhm.
bring in clients, and think of all the time and energy you put into bringing in a new client, if you can't get them to stay and continue to trust you, something underneath needs to be fixed. And
Mhm.
usually that's the limiting belief.
Mm.
So with Sherry, it was helping to shift her thinking to a value-based model and helping her experiment. So it wasn't about the dollars. In many cases, she was charging the same dollar amount, but with a different structure,
Mhm.
right? And then we started bumping up her dollar amount, because then I was teaching her how to find her ideal buyers.
Mhm.
So all of that to say, she has now fully implemented value-driven pricing and painless selling. So she's changed her business model because she wanted more long-term clients.
Mhm.
So now she has shifted to a model where she has people on retainer. So they pay a monthly retainer and they are staying with her for a longer period of time. She has more time to build that trust. And the clients now are so happy because they do have someone that they really trust for their financial strategies.